Roland. Great to meet you here at EDCon 2018 in Toronto. Do you want to start by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about some of the projects that you're working on?
Yeah, I'm a technical consultant in the blockchain space, mainly Ethereum, and I'm working for different companies. So I have two tracks, let's say. One is Solidity Development, ICOs and tokens, and the other is consulting companies on what is a blockchain and how they can enter the space.
That's interesting. And is most of the work you're doing, is it kind of with like more traditional companies, or is it with like on the education side, is it with more traditional companies or with newer startups?
Yes, definitely traditional companies who don't know exactly what this is. They heard about it and now they want to know if it is something that fits their business.
Very cool. And what sort of reactions are you getting? Are you seeing that companies are sort of super interested in the blockchain, or they're a little bit kind of nervous and cautious about it?
There is a lot of interest, and it's more a positive attitude. I don't see that they fear that somehow there is more competition or something, but they see more opportunities, and often it is not so easy at the end to find a business model or something where they can really or a product that will fit the blockchain. But they want to know what the thing is, and they have no clue at the moment.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting. I think education as well is an important thing, right? Getting more people to understand the blockchain and some of the trade-offs involved, right? So there were definitely trade-offs. So how did you first kind of get into the blockchain space? What was how did you kind of first get interested in Ethereum and in the blockchain?
Yeah. I started to get interested in Bitcoin 2013, and somehow I wrote technical articles about Bitcoin scripting. So it was a really, let's say, non-Turing complete form of doing smart contracts. And then I wanted to engage in some project. I started to work a little bit with Mastercoin at the same time when Vitalik was also in Mastercoin, so I understood that he is presenting this new paper on Ethereum, what ended to be Ethereum, and then I was really hooked and started to go into this.
That's very cool. I mean, it's definitely that kind of transition from like Bitcoin, which was all about transfer of value, to kind of Ethereum, which was more like the kind of world computer. I think something that brought in like a whole new wave of people kind of into the space. That's very interesting. So you mentioned that you work with companies around kind of ICOs and tokens and that side of things, which obviously is a large part of where lots of the interest is. Have you thought at all about the kind of different types of tokens? So at Polymath, we're focused on security tokens, where the token represents some sort of real world asset, maybe a venture fund or real estate. Mm-hmm. Have you seen much of that kind of differentiation in the discussions you've been having with clients?
Yes, there's a huge interest in security token and utility token as well. I think most companies are interested more in security tokens than utility tokens, while utility tokens also have their merit. We should not forget that at the end, Ether is a utility token securing the Ethereum network. But security tokens are also a big innovation in the financial industry. So something that was not possible before is now possible, and this means gaining access to funding for new ventures outside of the big world hubs like Silicon Valley and New York City or London. Yeah.
That's really interesting. And then, I mean, do you see, what are some of the trade-offs you see, maybe some of the kind of positives and maybe some of the negatives around tokenizing assets, so whatever the asset is, whether it's real estate or venture funds or equity? Do you see, what are some of the trade-offs you see there?
Well, there is a lot of user experience frictions, let's say. The traditional investor is not acquainted to use Ethereum, to install MetaMask, having wallets, managing their own private keys. That's of course not possible. And then we have the volatility aspect also, how to buy these tokens. Is you have to use Ether or Bitcoin or something like that. And this is also, they don't know exactly what sum they are investing at the end.
Yeah.
So this is a problem. And I think we are in a good way with stable coins, and also there is a huge effort now to make it more frictionless to the investors.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. You obviously mentioned stable coins, which I think is a really important kind of development. It's an ongoing thing, as we see with DAI and various other ones. So are there any particular changes to the network or improvements that are coming down the line which you're excited about for the Ethereum network?
Yeah, the scaling efforts are really, let's say, they are getting really concrete, and that is what Ethereum definitely needs. Also on the security aspect, we have a lot of efforts with formal verification and all that stuff. So while we started a little bit, like like a hobby project, I often feel we mature rapidly. That's good.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think, as you say, scaling is obviously probably the number one kind of concern, and then making it more user friendly, which you kind of alluded to earlier. And then lastly, how can kind of viewers find out more about yourself or the work you're doing? Are there any kind of links?
Yeah, I didn't manage to set up a website for myself, but I run this group. Oh, not this. I run this group of Ethereum consultants. We are a loosely coupled interest community association,
Right.
And so maybe this is.
Shall I read out the? So it's IBC.technology, or International Blockchain Consultants. So I guess if people Google that, they'll find it.
So contact us and we get in touch.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for your time, Roland, and great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.